It is such a distinct pleasure for me personally, and I know for many of you who have been in fandom for a very long time and who love the art of comic books, to have with us today what I consider the Dean of DC Science Fiction Art, Mr. Murphy Anderson, and I hope you join me in giving him a round of applause. I wanted to start today. Can everyone hear okay?
Yeah, Gary, get close to the mic.
Get close to the mic. Or as they say in the band world, eat the mic.
Eat the mic.
Eat the mic, okay.
You want to touch on the
Back in '92, I wrote the following paragraph as a preface to a Murphy Anderson interview, and I wanted to read it today because I think it provides a good foundation and introduction to what we're here to talk about. Interviewer's note, when I first began purchasing DC Comics from the newsstand during the middle 1950s, I noticed that several artists seemed to centrally define the DC look. I loved the exquisite inking detail of Russ Heath. I was enthralled over the dynamic lines of Joe Kubert. I wondered at the futuristic cities of Carmen Infantino. The clean, nearly photographic style of Gil Kane took my breath away. But for me, one artist's work was the most compelling. That artist was the great Murphy Anderson. Even now, when I stare at the original Atomic Knights art page hanging in my den, I never failed to marvel at the unbelievable level of detail in each beautifully rendered panel. I'm still in awe of the intricacy of line, the placement of shadow, and the truly superb composition of the total page. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit here. For me, Murphy Anderson's work is the apex of the Silver Age. From the first time I ever journeyed through the pages of Strange Adventures in Mystery and Space to this very day, Murphy Anderson continues to be far and away my personal favorite. But beyond his immeasurable contribution to comics, I learned something else about Murphy that he himself would not tell you. Even with all the recent media attention and notoriety, amazingly, Murphy Anderson continues to be soft-spoken, humble, and anxious to make sure everyone else gets their fair share of credit. I have found this to be a rare quality among many comic book creators. At the age of 10, I loved Murphy Anderson for his work. At the age of 43, I deeply appreciate him for who he is. Gary Carter, April 3rd, 1992. And given that, now Gary Carter at the age of 63 has the unbelievable privilege to be up here on this dais one more time with Murphy Anderson. So Murphy, let's get started.
Okay.
One of the places that I know is of meaning in your life timeline is growing up, the influence of your mother, and especially the early influence of several artists. And I wonder if you'd talk about that a little bit.
Well,